Hello everybody, this is Zenkablosa, coming at you today with MMA discussion for the first time on this channel. Today I want to talk about this kind of crazy, wide open, post-Khabib lightweight division and how it's playing out right now. As all of you are aware at this point, if you are indeed an MMA fan, Khabib Nurmagomedov retired from MMA competition in the cage after its third title defense against Justin Gaethje, where he won the fight via triangle choke in the second round. This was at UFC 254 on October the 24th, 2020. For a while, people were not convinced that Khabib was really retired. They talked about him reaching the 30-0 record that he and his father Abdulmanap had talked about reaching. And the president of the UFC, Dana White, had a meeting with Khabib a few weeks ago where he tried to convince him to come back to the sport. Dana would say after having this meeting that Khabib may come back if he saw a spectacular performance from a lightweight contender that excited his competitive spirit. But at the UFC 257 post-fight press conference 2 days ago, Dana White told the media that he talked with Khabib after the fights took place at UFC 257, and Khabib had told him, "None of these guys are on my level," seeming to intimate that he will not be coming back anytime soon, and his statements about not holding a division seem to all point to the UFC lightweight title being vacated sometime soon. Of course, there's going to be a fight for a vacant belt. First question that must be answered for it to happen is, who are the two fighters that will be competing for that vacant belt? Well, I'm here to talk about an idea me and some other people have come up with and have been thinking about and discussing since Khabib retired back in October last year. A tournament of all the top contenders at lightweight, to see who really can rise above all others and prove that they are the undisputed champion with Khabib gone. Now here I'm going to show you a few rinky-dinky paint graphics I made and posted on my Twitter, October 25th, about a hypothetical 8-man tournament. Now just so I'm being clear, there's no official UFC lightweight tournament going on right now. UFC is very reluctant nowadays about putting on tournaments, so this is all just for fun and speculation and predictions and things of that nature. So this tournament bracket I came up with at the time only had one fight actually confirmed to be happening. The rest was just pure speculation on my part. Poirier versus McGregor 2 was the one fight we knew was going to go down at the time, and I had Ferguson versus Chandler matched up, Gaethje versus Hooker matched up, and Oliveira versus Felder matched up, and what would be a rematch. But as of today, we know that all those matchups I thought were going to happen didn't. So yeah, my predictive skills failed me a bit there. Instead, what we had happen was former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos return back to lightweight and fight a short notice replacement Paul Felder on November 14th, 2020, where RDA would win in decision. Next, we had Tony Ferguson take on the streaking Charles Oliveira at UFC 256 on December 12th, which saw Oliveira dominate Ferguson on the ground en route to a decision win. And finally, at UFC 257, we would see two more elite lightweight fights take place. First, between Dan Hooker and a debuting Michael Chandler, where Chandler would beat Hooker in the first round with a flawless knockout victory. Immediately after the fight came the main event of the pay-per-view, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 2. Poirier came in as a big underdog for the fight, but ended up showing fans all over the world why he's called the Diamond. He beat down Conor McGregor's lead leg until it was completely destroyed halfway into round 2, where he would then finish the fight with his hands, scoring a huge knockout victory. So, now that I've laid out the recent happenings in the lightweight division, you may be saying at this point, okay, great. We had 8 lightweight contenders fight each other. Now we're left with 4 winners. Let's match them up in a set of semifinals and have the 2 winners of those semifinals fight for the vacant belt. Well, you see, we've now reached the messier part of our unofficial lightweight tournament. First off, Dustin Poirier doesn't seem to think Michael Chandler deserves to fight next for the title, because he hasn't earned it in his eyes yet. Okay, well, that doesn't seem like that big a problem. We can just say that Poirier and Chandler aren't on the same side of the bracket of this tournament. So we can just have Poirier fight Charles Oliveira, because Dustin did say in the post-fight press conference that Oliveira was more deserving than Chandler to fight with him next. And then we can have Chandler fight with RDA for our other semifinal. So hey, that played out pretty easy, right? But there's one big issue we have with this whole tournament that we haven't addressed yet. Where does Justin Gaethje fit into this? Gaethje is coming off his recent loss to Khabib, and at this point we're still really unsure about who he should fight next. Does he just sit out for a while and wait for a title shot once there's a new champion? It doesn't seem likely he would get that opportunity coming off a loss, with just how competitive this division is right now. So if he needs a win to get back into this picture, then who does he fight? In my mind, there are a few options. One, that he just kind of sidesteps RDA and fights with Chandler instead, and we have that as one of our 2 semifinals. But this obviously heavily screws over RDA, who in my mind has no reason to have that happen to him. So I'm not really a big fan of that option. Option 2 we have is that on February the 6th, coming up, we have another lightweight bout between top 15 fighters, Diego Ferreira and Beneil Dariush. We could have Justin fight the winner of this fight, and whoever wins there will have shown themselves as a top contender in the division and ready for a title shot. I like this decision a lot, and it's probably the one I'd like to see happen. Then we have wildcard option number 3, Justin Gaethje versus Nate Diaz. It's recently been reported that Nate Diaz is coming back to lightweight, and Dana White has even come so far as to say that if he beats his opponent that they are thinking of having him fight right now, it would put him in a very good spot near the top of the division. Well, Justin Gaethje is ranked very highly in the division right now, so this sounds very much like a fight that could happen, because if Nate did win that fight, he'd be right there at the top with the likes of Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira. But there are other factors that we still must consider as well, such as the fact that Poirier and McGregor are now 1-1 in their 2 fights against each other. We know that a third fight between those two would be very lucrative, especially considering it'd be a true trilogy. So there you have it. These are some of the possible ways the UFC lightweight division could continue to unfold, but as we know, in MMA, anything can happen. People can get injured, leading to possibly a lower ranked fighter coming in last minute, and if the lower ranked fighter wins that fight, he'll get a very big bump up in the rankings and be fighting for a title very soon as well. So if there's anything I can expect of the future, it's that I'm definitely not going to be exactly right about this. I'll probably be wrong about a lot of this end up being, but hey, we'll see. But hey, this is all just for fun anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this, and then I just created a bit more hype for you and thinking about possible fights that may happen in our future, because this lightweight division is just so stacked and so fun right now, and there are so many possible fight combinations that can happen. It's just truly an amazing time in our sport. So, that being said, I'm Khabib. Thank you all for watching, and peace.